And we're live.
Hey guys, what's up? Thank you for joining us for our Queen's Landing after show. It's a Game of Thrones after show, and we're talking about episode 8, No One. And we're joined by me, Melissa, your host, and my co host, Gabby. And our guest this week is Caryn. Say hi, Caryn.
Hi.
She's, she's a writer over at the Young Folks, and we're going to dive right into it. Let's talk about episode 8, No One. What do you guys think of it?
Um, it was okay. I think the only thing I was like kind of really happy about was that the Arya waif rumor was not true. The rumor that, or the theory that said that she was the waif and that she had to like kill Arya in order to like become no one.
Yeah.
And I really hated that idea, so I'm glad it's not true. That
I
it,
kind of loved that idea. I was kind of bummed that it didn't happen. Um,
I mean, it would
and
have been clever, but
it would have been really clever.
I
Yeah.
would have hated like not having Arya Stark anymore, having this no one person. Okay, I just know.
But she went there, like, she spent 2 seasons there for no reason, basically. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For no reason, because she did not change. So with her fulfilling her list, I don't know how. She doesn't have the faces to change and murder all those people. She still looks like Arya Stark. So I'm disappointed in her
At
storyline, to
least,
be honest.
and I think she knows now how to become no one or how to take faces because she took that face off the waif without Jaqen's help. So, like, she has the skill, or perhaps also like the blind fighting or whatever, however she killed her. So, hopefully that she can take with her. I don't
Yeah,
know.
fighting in the dark, sure. That's great. But that's about it. Which I think we should have seen it because we've been waiting for this showdown between the waif and Arya,
Yeah.
and I think we should have seen how it went down, and they just cut it to black, and then the next scene.
But then if it was all in darkness, we couldn't have seen it really.
I thought about that, but I thought like, well, they could have figured it out somehow, okay? They could have figured it out so that the audience can see.
Put like a green glow of night vision on.
I don't know, some medieval thing. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely get there was so much anticipation for an actual fight. I mean, we
So
did a
much.
really cool chase scene that had me like this the entire time. Um, but I mean, I do like that little swish she does with the candle. I mean, I was like, whoa, and then I'm like, I hope they don't end the episode there. Like every time
I
it,
know.
yeah,
I
I'm
was
always
I was
like,
gonna
I was
be
gonna-
I was gonna be even more mad if it ended it like that.
I was like, not again. I can't do this again.
I know. I was just like, God, okay. Like every black moment in this episode, I'm just like, no, is it over? And they're like, wait, no, something else. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. She had a peace of mind to take care with Jacques and Hagar.
hmm
And I almost want him to like go with her, but I guess he can't leave his temple.
Well, unless he's like on an assassin assignment, because that's how he met her originally.
But that
Yeah.
is if that is Jaqen. That could be anybody.
That's true.
Because they could have just put their face in him so that she would become comfortable with him. So
That's
we
true.
don't know what happened to him.
hmm But I also think it's important for her to go on her own and kind of
Yeah.
get back on track. I mean, it's just like I mean, like you said, like it almost feels like these past few seasons have been for nothing as far as Arya's storyline with Bravos and
Yeah.
and I
hmm
definitely don't think it was a waste of time per se, but I mean, I definitely felt like I don't know. I guess we should have felt like that we got something more out of it, but
Yeah. Because it just
Yeah.
feels like a lackluster ending for me. Like, that's it?
we're gonna have to see what she does next. I mean, I think
I mean, yeah, hopefully I feel maybe I will eat crow by these last two. Although I think next episode is it's only going to be the Winterfell battle, but maybe in the season finale, or maybe next season we'll see how that storyline paid off. I don't know. As of now, I'm extremely disappointed.
Mhm.
But yeah. you guys have no more to say about the whack Arya storyline, we can go ahead and move on to King's Landing, where Cersei finally says the line, "I choose violence." And come to find out, Tommen is going to now outlaw trial by combats, and you see the devastation in her eyes. So I guess we're not gonna get Clegane Bowl. I guess it's not gonna happen.
No.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that was going to happen, though I feel like now King's Landing is like infinitely less interesting now that there's no more trial by combat. But yeah, I mean, I knew that was coming. I wasn't really surprised by it. Um, I'm just, I mean, I don't know. I think Cersei's gonna die at the end of the season. I feel like that's what we're leading up to. What do you
Yeah,
guys?
I feel like Cersei is a bit too like sane at this moment. Like they need to show her declining more. So I figured that something would happen where she will lose like everything. Like I mean, Jaime's not there. The Tyrells have left. Well, Lena has left, and I mean now she doesn't even have like the trial by combat to hold on to. So I think that yeah, so I agree with you. I think Cersei's not long for this world.
Well, I mean, doesn't she have to live long enough to see Tommen die? Isn't that like part
Yeah.
of that prophecy?
Yeah, it's part of the prophecy.
Maybe that will make her go off the deep end even.
I saw a comment online that like she's the one who might kill him, and like I guess in her insanity to like control everything to kind of protect him from like the other forces, she'd rather kill him herself. So maybe that could happen.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. But it makes sense, and it's like really would just be purely ironic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That, and then after that, she probably will commit suicide, or maybe Jaime will kill her. I don't know.
I think it's that whole the whole King Aerys wanting to burn down the place. I think that that's gonna be her like what's gonna bring her down the same way it did him, and maybe that will be kind of like a deja vu for Jaime, like having to kill King Aerys so that that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So you won't because that comment that Qyburn said to Cersei at the end when she was like, "Oh, have your little birds found out?" and he's like, "Yes, they're making more." So it reminded me a lot of season 2 Tyrion and the.
I was confused as to what they were talking about. I'm like, what? What are you saying?
So that's it. Like I mean, Bran's vision with the wildfire under the castle. And I was like,
So
is that
she
the
might
one
be
that
she might be using wildfire. You think?
yeah to like burn up King's Landing to get rid of the High Sparrow? That's
That sounds like a solid plan.
She will burn them all.
Including yourself.
That's very Cersei.
Yeah, she has really nothing else to live for. I mean, I guess she still has Jaime out there, but who knows if they're really gonna go ahead and meet up again. Something could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. I mean, speaking of Jaime, him and his big.
What is the point of that? Like.
I know.
What's the point of adding all that in?
I know, right? I mean, Jaime and his big downfall with Cersei. I mean, she's like, he just. That whole speech.
Yeah, I told you that we were gonna hate him before we like him again.
Oh.
I don't even think I hate him. I'm just like, he's so pathetic. I'm like, oh, please stop like moaning on about Cersei. It's like it's been 6 seasons already.
I know, exactly. It's like, you know he's not a bad person, but his love for his sister is just like corrupt.
But that's what makes him bad. Yeah, like he makes poor decisions, bad decisions because of her.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I think like maybe some of the few moments in this episode I really liked were the ones like directly between him and Brienne, because I mean, you were just like, oh, this is the Jaime that we liked, you know,
exactly.
That made us change our minds, and you see that different side of him, and it's great and it's awesome, and it makes, you know, but I mean, I constantly like flip flop on like which side of him's gonna win out, and I'm like thinking it's gonna be the Cersei one at the end. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think he's gonna find some kind of redemption? I don't know.
I don't know if it's gonna happen this season. I don't know. It's just so unpredictable. Because since we're getting the bastard episode next episode, I have no idea what's gonna go in episode 10. Since we're gonna have no trial by combat, I have no clue what's gonna happen next. This could
I feel
be.
like it's,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, it's like I feel like I want Jamie to do well, like to be good too much, and I feel like I'm being too hopeful. So like Game of Thrones tends to like dash all my hopes. So I was like, oh, do I
Yeah.
want to hope for this so much? It's just that scene with him and Brienne. I was like, this is the chemistry that I enjoyed in the show. Like, bring this
Yeah.
back. Otherwise,
I
like a wet
know,
blanket.
right?
Yeah.
I know. I try not to be hopeful with Game of Thrones, but then I just fail at it because it's like who I am as a person. I can't change, but yeah, like I just don't. I mean, really, like, what if I had to pick something I loved from this episode? It was that, and just being reminded of Brienne and Jamie's relationship. But then I was also reminded of that very first episode when he knocks Bran out
You
of the
know.
tower,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he said,
Exactly.
the things you do for love, and I was like, oh, you reminded me. Yeah, so always flip flopping on Jamie. I can't help it. I mean,
That's
he's
the
like,
kind of character he is. He's very complex. Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, almost saying he's complex is like, I feel like just like I feel like that's just giving him too much credit, but he is complex. He's a
Yeah,
normal.
because I mean, you see how we are now. We're very conflicted. Like we like him sometimes, and sometimes we hate him. So we have mixed emotions about him.
Yeah. Okay,
I
well,
do think he's better when he's not with Cersei.
yeah,
Like I tend to I want to like him more when he's not in King's Landing with her.
I think we all do. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yes, and we unfortunately also got to see the Blackfish lose, and he actually lost his life. And that sucks. I really like the actor. I like the way he plays Blackfish. But I feel like you understand where Edmure is coming from because Jamie did threaten his son's life, and I guess for him there wasn't a choice. He had to give up the castle so that Jamie didn't kill his family, his other family, his wife and his son. So that was a tough decision.
well, I definitely think Edmure never really had like a strong backbone to begin with, so I'm not very surprised that he did that to the Blackfish. But I also agree
Yeah.
with you. I really like that actor. I think he gives like a very dignified
Yeah.
aura, and like
Yeah.
you just can't help but immediately like respect him. I mean, even
Hmm.
if he was a bad guy, I might have like actually respected this old dude because he was like, I mean, yeah, there's just something really kind of interesting about
He
him.
was very likable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad I'm glad they didn't like imprison him. I'm glad he died fighting in that
I
sort of
thought he was
regard
gonna kill
because
himself because I thought like he didn't want to go with Sansa, but like he didn't want to be captured, so he's like, well, I'd rather die anyway. And I thought he was gonna like possibly like pierce himself, but he ended up dying by Lannister men.
well, I mean, I guess that's almost suicidal. Like he knew he was gonna die if he fought
Yeah,
again, so he
he
went
was
into
giving
it
him hope.
knowing.
yeah, in a way. I wish he went and fought with Sansa. I'm kind of mad at him that he kind of gave up. He kind of gave up.
Yeah. I was like, just join Brienne's little crew. Just join it. Everybody just
Yeah.
join that crew. And wow.
No, I had a
Like Jay,
feeling.
take.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was done. It's like,
Okay. No, like I had a feeling he wasn't gonna come. I mean, I think he was just so. I mean, like they said, he's super stubborn. He is stubborn. Was stubborn. Sorry. And I definitely didn't think he was gonna leave. I knew he was gonna die fighting that for that castle because that meant something to him.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, it took a while for him to really kind of even like listen to Brienne and what she was saying and kind of digest it, and finally he did, and he acknowledged that, yeah, this is my family, but you could still tell that it still wasn't important to him. This castle was important to him, and this is what he was there for. So I knew he
Mhm.
wasn't gonna come, but I am bummed that he died. I mean, I really would have liked to spend more time with him and see how he would have interacted with Jon Snow and all them. But I think it would have been
In
too
Definitely.
many like mentor like characters around Jon
Mhm.
Snow that it would have like been too much. I don't know, because we already have Davos with him, and they're kind of
yeah,
similar. Like, you know what
in
I
the
mean?
books, in the books he kind of like disappears. Like he does like a what Brienne and Pod do.
Mhm.
So I enjoy that too, like this kind of old guy that's always a thorn in the side of like the Freys and the Lannisters. They could just like never capture him because after the Red Wedding he disappeared. After the siege he disappears. So I was like, but I mean I understand why he died too. And for the story wise, it's better to get Brienne and Pod out than him. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, because I definitely think like, well, if he was on that little boat with Brienne and Pod, do you think Jaime would have like attacked them, or would he have let them go,
I think you let them go.
even if the Blackfish was on there with him?
Yeah, only because when he had that discussion with Brienne, he said yes, that's okay. If you can convince him to leave, I'll let you guys go free. And
Yeah.
just because
oh
he
yeah.
has that special kind of relationship with Brienne, like to her, he keeps his word for some reason. I guess they have a connection. I think he would have let him go.
In sorry to be like in the books, but in the books,
That's okay.
Jamie idolized Jamie idolized the Blackfish. He was like his hero when he was younger. So they
Mhm.
had like that special connection where like he almost like fanboyed over him like whenever he would meet him and would like pick his brain about his battles and stuff like that. So even if like a call to that, like yes, he has a special relationship with Brienne, but I think a
Mhm.
part of him also didn't want to kill the Blackfish because of that kind of like hero worshipping that he had of him.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. I didn't really know that. I don't think the show really presented that.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so either.
But yeah. No, it's good that
But
you're giving us the book perspectives, because Melissa and I haven't read the book, so we're always like, whatever happened in the show, that's all we know.
exactly. Well, R.I.P. the Blackfish. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the Hound, who we see is going back to his brutal and hateful ways, which I like, because I'm always on Team Revenge. I like that he got to kill the people who, killed his new church friends, man. That was messed up. And it seems like he's gonna join the Brotherhoods Without Banners, which now we get to see Beric Dondarrion and Thoros of Myr, so they're alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like you. I think the Hound is his best when he's really bloodthirsty. But
He's really funny.
he has
He's really funny when he's killing people. He's awesome.
yeah, he has a very charismatic way of murdering
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
I felt like Inglorious Bastards for a second. I was like, I'm watching this like brutal murder scene, but I'm like laughing and I'm like, what is even happening? But yeah, I
Yes.
enjoyed it.
I loved it because he was like, "Is that really your last words before you die? Really?"
Yeah,
He really should have died.
that was excellent. I mean, I definitely think I'm happy to see the Hound back, and yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see where he goes next, for sure.
Yeah,
I know. So, what do you think he's gonna do with these people now?
I have no idea,
I'm
honestly.
actually not sure. Like I'm like they're going north for what? Like what's happening? I doubt they'll be
Oh
able
yeah.
to.
So I remember it was Thoros of Myr, right? He was kind of saying how like there's something greater than ourselves. Like the Lord brought him back for a reason, and He's brought you here for a reason. And so maybe they're gonna go north and fight these walkers too? I don't know. I kind of got the feeling. I don't know.
It's because they're not going to, like, they won't get there in time for the Battle of the Bastards, so it'll have to be, like, the Great Battle. Which means is everybody going to end up going north?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, because we're really getting down to the end soon. I mean, I know we have 2 more seasons after that, but
Yeah.
eventually we're gonna need a battle and an aftermath. Well, somewhat of an aftermath. Hopefully, they give us an end. But I'm so paranoid about that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think they're headed to the north. How things are gonna play out for them in the north, I'm not sure. I can't really say. But I mean, I think word is gonna start going around about Jon Snow being brought back, and I think it's gonna be kind of like a little myth legend thing that people are gonna want to seek him out. Like they're gonna think he's special. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. It could be.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Him and John and Melisandre and Thoros Moore and Beric Dondarrion, like they're little, like, 2 little coupledoms of people that they bring back and they're like saviors.
Yeah. Yeah. It could work.
Yeah, I think I'll probably see more of that maybe probably in the next season, since it's kind of a very new partnership with the Hound and the Brotherhood Without Banners. So we'll see more of them, hopefully, because I like to see the Hound. He's fun and he's brutal. I like the combination. And then we're gonna head over to Marine, where we have another forced, pointless scene, in my opinion, with Tyrion and Missandei and Grey Worm. I feel like they could have spent more valuable time shaving off that scene and like writing Arya like a better storyline. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't find them enjoyable. I don't know what's the point of having those 3 together trying to be best friends. Like, you're trying to govern a city and protect people and try to make Daenerys, this queen of Marine, and, now the slavers are coming into Marine. I keep thinking, where are the dragons he set free?
Yeah. I'm actually not sure. They could have just shown the Masters coming and then showed Daenerys coming in. We did not need that scene of learning how to tell jokes.
No, we didn't.
It was so long too. Like I was just like, okay. So it's like, you see him try to tell one joke and it could have just ended right there, but then she tried.
All 3 of them.
And he tried, and then she didn't. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, okay, is there like something gonna happen here? And nothing happened.
Nothing happened. I thought that like they were gonna get like attacked in the room, like some bomb was gonna go off, and maybe one of them was gonna die, but nothing happened.
I thought like Grey Woman is gonna, like, they're gonna tell their boring jokes, and then Grey Woman is gonna come out and like roast them all with like this brilliant like comedy routine. Like, at least that. Comes here with this boring like and just like laughs.
Yeah, it was a really pointless scene, and then then everything happened all at once there with the Masters coming back and attacking them, and then I knew right away once we heard like those kind of footsteps on top.
Yeah.
That it was gonna be. It was like Santa Claus came to town. No, Daenerys is here, and she's gonna
finally she's back.
I am curious to see her reaction though to Tyrion and how the decisions he's made in her absence.
Yeah.
Things are not going well at the moment, so that'll be interesting.
Not at the moment.
Yeah. So
do you think that?
I'm sorry?
Do you think that she's going to go back to go to Westeros by the end of the season? Do you think she's like tied up with loose ends enough?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I mean, in the beginning of the season, I thought it was a possibility, but
now?
Yeah, now I don't know. I mean,
she needs to figure out how to get Slaver's Bay under control, because she's right. Like, why would anybody follow her if she can't control just one place, you know? And she needs to figure out what to do with these slavers, and she still hasn't met Yara and Theon and the other Greyjoys who are coming to her. So maybe that scene might happen in episode 10, but I don't think we'll see her sail off till like maybe season like 7 or 8.
Because else it would be like just like Arya, like pointless if she leaves and the place is still a mess, and she doesn't have what she needs. Then the whole like Marine storyline would have been another Arya. So I agree
Yeah,
with you. I think it's gonna happen soon.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it would be very foolish just for her to leave. So,
Mhm,
yeah, but yeah, you're right. It would totally be kind of pointless if she did. And
mhm.
I mean, also I was kind of bummed that Varys left. Because, I mean,
Yes, but I like what I think you tweeted, Karen, that like he's gonna go to like Dorne, right? Because they're the ones
yeah,
who hate the Lannisters, so that'd be really smart of like that alliance, because she does need some alliances in Westeros already. So that would be a really smart and cool alliance. And we haven't seen Dorne all season long, so maybe that's like the surprise that we'll see in episode 10.
Yeah, and it's like it's the lowest point of Westeros, so it's a place where Westeros and Essos meets up. So it'll be
Hmm.
naturally the first place to go. And if they already hate the Lannisters, I've heard some people say they think Olenna is going there as well because the Martells are, like live close to the Tyrells.
Hmm.
So if Olenna's in, she also hates the Lannisters, and she has like knowledge of what's happening in King's Landing. She has Marjorie there, and
Yeah.
Varys goes there, and Dany comes there. Like that's like her point of entry. Then it's a
Hmm.
good place to start out.
Yeah. I like
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
yeah.
And we
I
have to go
agree.
in the deepest south, and like John in the deepest north. I mean, then meet in the middle.
That sounds like a solid plan. I hope they follow. And we finally get Daenerys to Westeros already.
Yeah. God.
Seriously. So hopefully
Alrighty.
we see what Varys is up to.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think we went through everybody's scenes this week, right? Is that it for all the scenes?
Yeah, I think that's everyone, really.
All right, cool. So let's get into some segments.
Yay!
Alrighty. Yay, segment. So our first segment is our week of the week. This is where we get to talk about a character that we're disappointed in, somebody we think just kind of generally sucked this episode, something that we're just really not feeling this episode. And that's our Reek of the Week. It's named after the Reek himself. And my Reek of the Week are the showrunners and slash writers of this episode. I literally could not think of anybody else because I'm just so disappointed in this episode altogether.
Damn
David
it.
and Dan, I looked it up to make sure they wrote this episode, so they're my Reek of the Week. Because I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the filler scene with Tyrion and Grey Worm and Missandei, stupid and pointless, and in the Arya storyline. I mean, I still don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 episodes or next season with her, but as of right now, as far as I know, she went to Essos for absolutely no reason. So, they are my Reek of the Week. How about you, Gabby?
My week of the week is Jaime Lannister for
Yeah.
saying how much he loves Cersei still, even. Uh, yeah, I've already pretty much talked about why, but yeah, Jaime is my. I mean, because he's the only one who I feel like I hope he redeems himself. I really do. Make it happen.
Make it happen. And you, Karen?
My week of the week is Edmure Tully, because
Mhm.
I don't know, I have this weird soft spot for him, even though I know he has no backbone. But it's like I feel sad that he sacrificed his uncle. So I hope that at some point he can redeem himself in like the eyes of the Tullys or the eyes of the rest of the heroes. So that Sansa will be very happy with him. So yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, I definitely was like impressed with him at first when he was like kind of asking Jaime if he felt any kind of like, what was he saying? Like any
He
kind of
was like, how do you, or like What do you tell yourself? Because everyone must think they're decent in some way. So how do you tell yourself that?
Yeah, that was like pretty. I was like, whoa, he's really like getting into him, and then
Yeah.
we know how it happened. So
He's
yeah,
a good actor. Oh.
Yeah. In that scene though, like all I could think about was like his character in Outlander.
Oh, no.
For viewers who might not know, he plays a bad guy in Outlander. Check it out. It's a good show. All right. Moving on to our next segment, we have our Lord slash Lady Commander of the episode. This is basically where we kind of pick our favorite standouts of this episode, the MVP, somebody who owned it this episode. Okay, so my Lord Commander of this episode, I kind of talked about it earlier this episode, it's the Hound. Because we're seeing him what he does best, just kill people. And he does it in a comical way. And he was doing it because he was pissed off that those people killed his church friends. He was not cool with it, and he was bloodthirsty, and he killed those people, which I always love. I'm always team vengeance, as I always say. I'm a bloodthirsty person. I don't know what that says about me, but he was my Lord Commander of this episode. How about you, Gabby?
my lady commander was Arya Stark because she is Arya Stark. She's no longer no one. Yeah,
Boo!
I know you're upset about this.
I am very upset.
I am glad she's saying Arya because I love Arya, and that.
Now I hope she dies.
Oh my God, Melissa, just go. Just go. No, I just Arya. I mean, I've loved her from the start, and it really was kind of breaking my heart that she had to give up her identity because I felt like that's just so much of who she is, and you know why we all like her and why we root for her because she's a Stark, and we can't really be losing any more Starks. So
I will.
So I when she said it at the end to him that I am Arya Stark and I'm going home, I was like, yeah, I haven't like cheered that loudly since Jon Snow came back to life. So, Lady Commander Arya Stark.
I'm sorry, guys.
Forever, Melissa.
It is your prerogative to pick Arya. I still love her. I'm just disappointed in her character. I'm just disappointed in the writers. Not really her. It's the writers' fault. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. And you, Karen?
I'm gonna pick the Blackfish just as like a goodbye, farewell. It's like I love the fact that he stood his ground, that he stayed true to his principles. I mean, it's like he's like such a stubborn arsehole. Like it's been 2 seasons and he's still supporting Rob. Like Rob's dead, but he's still standing up for that's still his king. So I mean, I'm glad he died fighting. That he didn't let himself get caught, and that he helped Brienne and Pod get out. So yeah, he's my Lord Commander of the week.
Yeah, he was gonna be my pick until the Arya thing. And then I was like, no, I gotta get to Arya and upset Melissa.
Just twisting the knife in my heart.
Twisting it too. No.
Oh my God.
Alrighty.
Okay, guys. We're gonna go on to our other bloodthirsty segment, our Swing the Sword segment. This is where we kind of want to use our metaphorical swords and swing it at somebody we hated this episode, somebody we wish to die, someone that we're really disappointed in and that we're sick of them. And we've named our swords. And, okay, I'll go ahead and let you know who's my Swing the Sword. I'm going to swing my sword, Dawn, at Jaime Lannister for reasons that we've already talked about. We're disappointed in him and his decisions. He's just the worst when he's thinking and in love with his sister. His decisions kind of led to the death of Blackfish, which is a character that we all really liked, I think. And I'm tired of it. I don't know what else to say. We already said it. I'm tired of Jaime's behavior. So he is my Swing the Sword. How about you, Gabby?
Tommen is my Swing the Sword. Because I just think he's like a little insufferable child who is just annoying. And the way he just talks and like decrees shit, and it's just out of like the High Sparrow's mouth. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, he's well, he's as harmless as a king can be, but I just don't like him. I think he just has none of the like strength or power that his family has really. And I think it's about time that we see him go.
The one thing I like that he did was outlawing trial by combats, just because that's more hope away from Cersei, and I can't stand her. So
Yeah.
that's like that's a couple of points for him. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and my sword's name's Jeremiah after the Apple TV commercial with Jamie Lannister. Okay.
Awesome. And you, Caryn?
Okay, so I named mine Winter's Bane just because I want to add Bane to something, and after that Sam episode, I'm like, any sort of the Bane sounds.
I like
But
that.
so I'm gonna swing my sword for Cersei because I just can't stand her, and I hate to
Yes.
knock someone. I hate to knock someone when they're down, but like when she has to make rash decisions, I know it's gonna go terrible, and I'm like, I I just feel like everything's gonna go downhill from here, and it's gonna be her fault. So I can't wait to see her go.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
For cheesy. And our next segment is our green side segment where we kind of get to play fortune teller. We want to predict what might happen in the next episode or in the season finale or seasons to come. This is our green side episode. Our green side segment. And do you guys have any insight as to what might happen at the Bastard Bowl?
Jon Snow's gonna win. Because if he doesn't, I will be upset.
How shocking would it be if he died again?
I'll be angry, like
I
just
know.
frustrated.
That would be
That would have been that would be another pointless storyline.
Yeah.
It's like all this excitement, and it's like, nah, sorry, Jon's really dead this time. And then
In the preview, he says, "If I fall, don't bring me back again." To
Don't bring me
Melisandre.
back. Don't bring me
Yeah.
back.
Don't bring me back.
and then just to top it all off, it'd be like a billion times worse if you lost to Ramsay of all people, who is like literally just like he's conniving and awful, but he's not like exactly smart in that way. I mean, it just military wise, like I don't know. I would find the whole thing offensive, and next week I'd be like crying on this episode if Jon Snow dies. So no, he's
Yeah.
gonna live and he's gonna win.
I think that like the Knights of the Vale might pull a Stannis at the end of season 4, I think. Like when he comes in like last minute and saves Jon and Sansa's army when they look like they're about to lose, but hey, no, Knights of the Vale are coming. We're gonna win, hopefully. So I think that might happen. Like a sneaky Knights of the Vale save might happen. And I think Rickon's gonna die, guys. I think he's gonna get flayed because he's with Ramsay and he's crazy.
Yeah. I feel
And
like
he might do it. He might do it to like demoralize Jon and Sansa, like make him feel like, well, damn, you know.
I don't know. I think that would just give them more purpose and more like fire to actually like.
They would fight, but I feel like they would be like really sad while they're fighting. So
sad.
I don't know. Sad fighting.
Like I'm crying, but I want to kill you also.
Exactly.
But I wonder. I feel like someone from Jon's army has to die if he doesn't die. So
Tormund.
I
love Tormund. He might die.
No, they got that
No.
whole romance with Brienne if they got.
Exactly. Because we like him, he's gonna die. Watch.
Yeah.
I like him too.
Like him too.
Well,
Yeah.
but I do agree that someone important's gonna die, and it's even if it's not Jon Snow, and it's
What if it's Davos?
No.
I like him.
Cancel that. Jon needs Davos. Davos needs to
Let's-
serve some.
Let's think about all the important people that we love, okay? Ready? Jon Snow. We like Davos. We like Tormund. We like Sansa, but I don't think she's gonna be fighting, right? She's not gonna be
Right.
The
fighting.
Lord. Ed,
And who else do we know
Dolores.
that's who?
His friend, the one that's Lord Commander now.
Oh, Ed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So if he joins to fight, he might die. There's a lot of possibilities, guys.
I
Yeah.
hope they don't send that little girl out. She must stay in the camp, please.
Oh
With
yeah,
Sansa.
far, far away.
Yeah.
She should not be near the battle.
No.
And do you think Ramsay will die?
Yes.
I hope so. Sansa should kill him. I want to see
Yeah.
Sansa kill Ramsay.
I think she
I
deserves
hope so.
that.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, but yeah, it's called the Battle of the Bastards. So I'm assuming a bastard's gonna die, and it
Yeah.
better be Ramsay after all the shit that they made us watch him do. So
Yeah.
no, yeah, I am done with Ramsay, and I hope this is the last we see of him. And I mean, they've been teasing that this is the biggest battle that we're gonna ever see on Game of Thrones. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I think like if we're gonna go towards the White Walkers being the main villains, we have to kill the other kind of peripheral main villains.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
someone like
that's
Ramsay
yeah. That makes
deal with the
sense.
proper villains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. And
That makes sense.
I definitely still think that there's not going to be a united front against the White Walkers quite a way. But I definitely think neutralizing these like villains like Ramsay especially is gonna kind of sort of streamline the story into this
Yeah.
final epic battle that
Yeah.
well like winter is gonna finally come, you guys.
Yeah. Maybe like they'll finally go beyond the wall or something. I don't know.
Right. Well, we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah.
And
2 more episodes.
I also thought about like if they have Melisandre there and we've seen her have like a demon shadow baby kill Stannis, why can't she do that with Ramsay?
I don't know. I mean, she seems
To
really.
burn some more kids for that. For that kind of power. And I don't want to see that again.
Yeah, no.
For the demon baby, but she didn't kill anybody for that the first time when she killed Renly with the demon baby shadow thing.
But her fires were low then. I mean, her fires were high. And then when she killed Shireen, she was like, her fires are low, so she needs extra power in order to. She needs to sacrifice more things to the god. But I don't know, she just brought Jon Snow back, so. I don't know how tempting.
Only one parlor trick per season, I suppose. I mean, I feel like she should conjure up some kind of magic here. She is powerful, I feel like. So, I don't know. Because they need all the help they can get.
I feel like ever since she resurrected Jon Snow, like she's kind of taken a back seat. And
Yeah, when is she?
yeah, like I don't.
She's like not around.
Right, and it's like it's kind of strange to me because I mean she's always had a very looming big presence, but then she kind of just went away. So it's curious to find out like if there was a reason for that, like if by resurrecting Jon Snow it caused something to change in her, or if it's just the writers saying, oh, we're gonna give you a break from the Red Woman. Okay, I don't know.
I don't know if maybe her purpose was to bring Jon Snow back. And then I don't if the writers know what to do with her after that. Because, I mean, her going with Stannis was Stannis going to the north. And then going to the north led her to Jon Snow. So I'm not sure, you know, what her next plan is or if they know even what to do with her.
They probably don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I guess we have our green side.
Yeah. Jon Snow's not gonna die next week, in a nutshell.
Hopefully not. So join us again as we're gonna come back and talk about the Battle of the Bastards with Jon Snow and Ramsay and Sansa and all of them, and hopefully the bad people die and the good people live. But it's Game of Thrones, so who knows? Right. Make sure you follow our page TYF on Twitter. follow me on Twitter and Gabby on Twitter and also Caryn on Twitter. You can find all our handles in the description in the video. And make sure to like the video and subscribe. If you like what you see, share it with your friends. And thanks so much for joining us. We also had wanted to kind of make sure that we acknowledge the tragedy that happened in Orlando at the nightclub. We definitely want to make sure that we want you guys to know that we have the families and the victims in our thoughts. So, thank you.
All right.